Hello, 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 everyone. Come in, come in. Let's get this Saturday night live stream on and popping. Welcome, welcome to the channel. I don't know which platform you may be watching on because I have three different um, YouTube channels. And so one channel you may see Millionaires or Us. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and that like button. Another channel, you're going to see Queenology. Another channel, my main channel is this channel, Crypto Queen, right? Crypto Queen. So have to respond to some messages. Give me 1 second as I'm looking down. I'm gonna get started. You all come in, hit that like button, hit that like, hit that share. I'll have some reservations about live streaming. Um, what? Gwen has changed the name. Gwen, let me look up. I had some reservations about live streaming because I don't have my braids in. You know, the braids I can just sweat and go. With the braids I can just sweat and go. I was like, oh Lord, I have to do my natural. So let's see how that goes. Gwen has changed it to switching gears. I love that. Gwen, switching gears, financial services. Good evening. I'm switching gears as well, Gwen. I'm going to definitely change my Patreon. I've been saying it for 2 weeks because I have some insider stuff I'm gonna start teaching, right? And Gwen says you sweating that. I know we sweating it on out, Gwen. Right, sweating it on out. And so, yeah, I'm sweating it out. Trying to. I got some people still signing up for the services, but we gonna make it do what it do, right? I have come before you all with it worse than this. So let me know how. Get somebody tell me a sound check. And welcome to the channel if you are new. I have a lot of new subscribers, so if you are new, welcome to the channel. This is the channel where kings and queens come in to make money moves, spiritual moves, and any moves in their lives to allow them to help them walk in their royalty, right? To walk in your royalty. So give me a shout out. Come in and say hello, whether you are watching this live or in the replay, and also do not forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So let me get into the lesson. I titled this video, How to Become a Millionaire in 5 years or less. I think I put 5 years. You can actually do it in 2 years depending on your cash flow, right? If you want to be a decamillionaire, you can become a decamillionaire because we are, when I say we, I mean globally, experienced the greatest financial shift that this generation has ever experienced. We are changing a currency system. I want you all to pay attention to the football game tomorrow. It's going to be interesting as you have the Cincinnati Bengals, which represents the tiger, and the tiger is represents China, the year of the dragon. I mean, not dragon. I know China's year of the tiger. Year of the tiger is right now in China. So that's what the Bengals represent. I'm just sweating my hair out. And then you have the Rams and Odell Beckham that represents Bitcoin, right? So this is what we're going against. Now, the digital one will trump the United States dollar. And I know I'm not talking about Donald Trump, but it will trump the United States dollar as the new virtual digital currency system. It will do that. It has done that. Now, going to war will further just bankrupt the United States and other nations against Russia and China. So I'm not going to get into that, but I would highly advise that you all watch the live stream that I did last night on yesterday about the reason for war between Russia and China. That was on February the 4th. February the 4th. And I gave a breakdown about that, about XRP, about the SWIFT system, et cetera, et cetera. So now This is the ingredients. This is the cake. This is the recipe of how to become a millionaire or a decamillionaire. If you want to be a billionaire, it's the time to do it. You just have to be strategic and know what moves to make, right? You got to make queen moves, because queen moves gets you cash flow positive and it gains assets. So let's talk about assets. What are assets? Assets is anything that put money into your pockets, your purse, your bank account, right? Whatever you want, however way you want to say it. Those are assets. Liabilities are things that take money out of your pockets, right? So for example, if you have a house and that house has a tenant and you are cash flow positive $100 a month from that tenant paying rent. Let's say you took out a loan from the bank and the loan is $800 a month to pay back to the bank. The tenant's rent is $900. Well, you are now cash flow positive exactly $100 a month. However, if you, thank you for the digital love, thank you for that heart on Facebook. If you now live in a house and you pay a mortgage, the word mortgage is root word for mortician. Now that house is a liability to you because it's taking money out of your pockets, but it is an asset to the bank, right? Because if you don't pay the mortgage, then the banks have the power to take the house. So it's the house assets. Your realtor may tell you that a house is an asset, but it's a house, is that's true as well, but it's an asset to the realtor because they get a commission when they make the sale, right? Now, what many people do is say, well, my house is an asset because I can take out a home equity loan against it or HELOC. But many people do not take out a home equity loan against their house to get more assets. They take out a home equity loan to sometimes finance their children's college, to get another vehicle, to take a vacation out of the country or to Hawaii. All of those are now liabilities because none of that puts money into your pockets. So the very first steps in understanding how to become a millionaire is to understand the definition between assets and liabilities. For example, another example, if you have a vehicle and you are Uber driving or you are providing limousine services, right, through that vehicle. Now that vehicle is putting money into your pockets. So it is an asset to you. But if you have a vehicle and you're paying out, again, it's an asset to the banks. If you're paying out a vehicle note, a car note, a truck note, whatever, now that's taking money out of your pockets. So now you have to understand, how do I make this vehicle an asset? Some people are listing their vehicles for rent for people that need it. Some people are doing like I did, and they purchased a vehicle that was over 6,000 pounds in weight because that's the new IRS code for a tax deduction write-off. And whenever I travel for business use outside of the state that I reside, my mileage, a portion of my gas, my depreciation, any business use that I have for it is now tax deductible 100% because it's over 6,000 pounds at the end of the year. So that's the first step. Identify what are assets and what are liability. Thank you so much, Cedric, on Facebook. Now, let's get into understanding money, right? I'm gonna take a deep breath from this because this is what people don't understand. And it's unbelievable to them to understand how a low cost, small investment of $129 could solve this problem. Because most people think that, like most businesses, if you start your own business, you go out and you get an LLC, you get an S corp, you get a C corp. Most people are expecting to spend hundreds and thousands on startup costs to have their own business, right? If you have a lawn care service, you have to have lawn mowers, sometimes more than one, depending on the square footage of the yards you're going to cut. You're going to have a truck. You're going to have a trailer, right? We add all that together, that's easily $1,000. Some people want to bake cakes from home, or they want to sell candles from home. And you got to look at all the ingredients it takes to bake a cake, to do pastry, to make a candle, right? And so for me to tell people that $129 investment opportunity is a low cost opportunity that can return them thousands of unlimited passive income opportunity, they don't believe it. They can't fathom it because they know that just to get an entity, let's say you go through LegalZoom for your LLC, is way more than $129. So they're thinking, I have to spend hundreds and thousands to have a legitimate business. But let me break down this money lesson to you all to show you why that is furthest from the truth. Now, 1943, I have some people that are big, big researchers. So I want you to research this. I want you to research this. In 1943, the Employees Tax Act was passed, right? Employees Tax Acts were passed. In 1913, citizens were not even taxed from their money or the labor that they made, right? They kept 100% of their earnings. But in 1943, it's called the Employees Tax Act. This is when people start looking at their paycheck and like, where did my money go? I've worked 40 hours a week, sometimes overtime, and this is all I got. This is when their gross became their net, and their net became grosser. Somebody put that in the comments on one of my other videos, and I didn't even remember saying that, but I'm gonna say it now. That not then that gross income became their net, and their net income became grosser. So in 1943, what happened? Employees Tax Act, it eliminated or reduced the value of many tax deductions. Listen, it removed millions from the tax roll. It reduced the number of tax bracket that an employee can have. It reduced. So now in 2022, an employee only has 9 tax deductions, right? Yeah, their net became grosser because it's already called, Curtis, your gross income, right? Go ahead, can you block Sybil Wilson out the live stream? Curtis, I didn't make you a moderator because I'm not going to let any energy, negative energy, come in and kill my vibe on this live stream. So if you're a moderator, go ahead and block out Sybil Wilson for me, right? Well, hold up. Are you saying what I'm teaching is terrible, or the 19? Hold on, let me get it straight. Of what the 1943? Oh, no, okay. Okay. I just want to make sure because I'm teaching you all something that's gonna really help you out. Cause okay, Silver, this my fault. This my bad. But when you YouTube, you get a lot of good energy and negative energy. This is a platform where you gotta, keep the negative energy out. So that was my misinterpretation, and I apologize. So in 1943, Employees Tax Act. Google it. Google it. Eliminated, reduced the value of many tax deductions. Now, that was for employees. So you only got 70% of your dollar that you made, 70 cents on the dollar. They took 30 cents out. And then they added where they made it mandatory for you to get either a 401k or a pension. Now, I don't know about you all, but I worked in the public school system 16 years as a teacher and a coach. We had no say so over how much was taken out of our pension. They took out X amount. You could not say, I don't want this $300 out. I want you all to stop investing. No, you had no voice, and it was from your labor. So this taxed employees the highest. Then they rolled around. President Reagan in 1986 says, now we're going to tax the big money makers the highest, the specialists, the doctors, the lawyers, the six-figure income earners. So he passed a tax reform act. Now, this also eliminated the value of many tax deductions. It removed millions again, right, from what people can write off. And so now you had the heavy hitters, six-figure income earners, through Reagan Tax Reform Act of 1986, who got big tax cuts. So then in 1971, President Nixon came along and removed cash money from the Bretton Woods Agreement. Bretton Woods Agreement. In 1971, the dollar stopped being money and became currency. I know when you hear the name cryptocurrency, you might be thinking, well, how is cryptocurrency good? But I'm going to stay on the dollar. Let me stay on topic. So the dollar became currency, which means the printing press, the helicopter money, the feds, and the U.S. Treasury had all the control over how much money they could distribute. It was not measured against the gold standard. See, they could only up to 1971, right? Thank you, Cedric. They could only up to 1971 produce or put into circulation in the population how money in reference to how much physical gold they actually had in their possession. But what also happened in 1971 was Spain was sending its warships over, and they saw that the dollar cash was crashing and became highly deflated. And they said, United States, we don't want this cash anymore. Cash is trash. We want our gold, because up to then, United States held all of the country's gold in their possession. And this is why the United States dollar became the world reserve currency, because the United States had all the physical gold, the real money. So President Nixon got word of this, said, hey, let's remove the dollar at the gold standard. We cannot give them the real money back. We're not going to give them the real gold back. And at one time, I was at a pawn shop buying some silver coins. And, I had this conversation with the pawn shop worker. And I asked him, I said, well, why didn't Spain just come in ships? They could have traveled here faster. And before the executive order came into effect, they could have been here. He said, well, ma'am, if they would have came in ships, if they would have flew in planes, then they wouldn't be able to fly the gold back. I said, oh. He said, so they had to come in warships. I said, okay. So before they can get here, Nixon said, no, we're going to take it out the gold standard. We're keeping the gold, and we're going to keep the United States reserve dollar. And also that means we're going to be able to print out, distribute out as much as you can. So the 1943 Employees Tax Act and the 1986 Tax Reform Act passed by Reagan now gave no one that worked, nobody that had a job, control of their income and expenses. I'm going to pause because I'm teaching you all something. When this happened, 1943, 1971, 1986, no one that had a job had control over their income or expenses, because the more money that the government was allowed to print, the more it caused inflation. That's called supply and demand. Once something is given out in large lump sums or supply, the less valuable the value it becomes. It loses its purchase power, and it causes the prices of goods and services to increase because more people in the economy has more money, which means more consumers are going to put a higher demand on products and services from business owners, which means they have to pass the buck down to the consumer and raise the prices. So at this point, no no one working a job, no matter how big your income, could have control over your income or your expenses because you can't control prices. You can't control the gas price. You can't control inflation. You can't control when the government give out stimulus or PPP. And what most people don't know is that your social security number, which is the same number on the back of your social security card, those all caps numbers on the back of your social security card matches the all caps on printed cash. Your social security number made everybody a corporate citizen, a corporate citizen, which means that I don't know. Beer Gang Tabernacle. That was my fault. It wasn't Miss Wilson's fault. It was my fault because I misinterpreted. But as I said, when you YouTube live, sometimes you have people that are trolls that come in and they just want to kill the vibration. So that was my fault. I misinterpreted what she was saying. So my apologies that way. My apologies, Beer Gang. My apologies. So let me get back on topic. So with that being said, your social security number made you a corporate citizen. Because most people don't know in 1933, the United States went bankrupt and they owed the Fed and the US Treasury money. Most people don't know about the meeting at Jekyll Island, right, in Georgia, and who the Feds really are and who the US Treasury really is. But the United States was in debt to them, and they had to use the labor of its citizens and take 30 to 20% of your money from your labor in order to pay that debt, right? So remember the dates: 1943, Employees Tax Act; 1986, Reagan's Tax Reform Act. Then that's when you had all the big six-figure earners that was taxed. Then 1971, money, cash went from money to now currency, which caused inflation. Exactly, Cedric. So that puts you, citizens, no control over your income or expenses. Now, this is where MWR comes in. Someone asked me some great questions. And let me say this real quick before I get into that. The 129 opportunity. That's for promotional investment opportunity. That's for a limited time. Currency, when money became currency in 1971, it then was designed to go down about 80% of value every 40 years. It was designed that way because now you can print out more of it. This is where Bitcoin and cryptocurrency solves the problem. Bitcoin does the opposite of cash. It has less supply every 4 years. They call it a halving. They cut the amount of Bitcoin that's available to invest in half, which makes the price increase. Well, the dollar doesn't work that way. They supply or give more of it out through tax refunds, through child tax credit, stimulus, PPP, and it makes prices increase because its purchasing power decrease. So what MWR does, because someone on my other channel said, what makes MWR 129 opportunity different from other home-based businesses? Well, number one, if you had your own independent business, you couldn't start a business for 129, right? Number two, MWR is a legal MLM network and structured business. However, what makes it more different, you can go out and sell IOSO tea, You can go out and sell Mary Kay. You can go out and sell Avon and be a direct salesperson through Avon, for example. Um, you can go out, trying to think of some other network marketing business. This enough. I can't think of any more. And get in those businesses, and your investment cost probably going to be $300 to $500. And honestly, MWR is headed to increase it. It's just going through this limited time promotion. However, what makes MWR different is they do not have anybody that are IRS experts that can take your paycheck and within 24 business hours give you an IRS paycheck checkup is what it called, and analyze your paycheck and look at your W-4 and readjust it to reflect that you are not an employee now. You are now a business owner in partnership, and the umbrella is MWR. So now your social security number is immediately taxed as an EIN entity with a legitimate service behind it and a way to keep your record keeping intact about your tax deduction. No other work from home, make money online opportunity does that. So people within 2 to 3 business days can immediately, by adding the 470 plus tax deductions through NWR home-based business and working with the experts, can see an instant pay raise from their paycheck without working in overtime, without asking your boss for a promotion, right? Let me read some of this. Yeah, fiat cash money is losing value. The value of MWR assets to wealth strategies and professionals help grow money, right, and protect it. So immediately, and I say this all the time, virtually everyone on my team has at minimum of $300 on average instant money coming back into their household every payday, whether they get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, because you have that strategy. No other business offers you that strategy through IRS experts that's going to make sure that you are not getting undertaxed on your paycheck and then put you in a position where you don't have to pay back taxes. They're going to make sure that you can take home as much take home pay as you can, possibly can, according to your situation, without having to pay back taxes, right, at the end of the year or owing the government. One of my biggest testimonies was recently a man that had a salary of $150,000 a year. He was always accustomed to paying back. He had a daughter, but he did not carry her as a dependent because he was divorced. And so she did not live with him in the house. He was able to get a tax refund back from the state and to be even with the government after years having to pay back taxes because he had these tax deductions that he was missing that he was just not uneducated about. That's number one. Number two, everything about MWR is financial strategies and financial education. Credit enhancement, credit repair, all in one. Some businesses just do credit repair, but they cannot increase your cash flow. I was in credit repair for 2 or 3 years, and some people just had a low credit score because their credit cards were at a high balance and they didn't have the money to pay it down. So you find the money to pay down bad credit and pay down your high limit credit cards. You now go from being cash flow negative to being cash flow. Some people are cash flow neutral, which means, like Dr. Lynn Richardson said, some people get paid Friday and they're broke again by Monday because they got to pay past due bills. So they're not even living paycheck to paycheck. They have to pay past due. But some people get paid and they're able to pay their bills up to date and current, but they don't have enough money to last them for the rest of the week or 2 weeks or for the rest of the month. So they're just cash flow neutral. They have just enough to pay the bills but not enough money left over to invest with. Now I'm gonna say this: Matthew 25:14. It gives the story of three servants, right? And I'm gonna twist it a little bit. I know the story, but I tell it all the time. So this time I'm gonna make it real to you. I'm gonna twist it. I'm gonna say there's a father who had three sons, right? He had three sons. Now the Bible says servant, I know that. And then the Bible says master, but it's Black History Month. I don't feel like using the word master and servant. So you all just bear with me. So it was the father that had three sons. And one son he gave 5 talents of gold, 5 pieces of gold. The other son he gave 2 pieces of gold, or we could say 2 ounces. And the third son he gave 1 ounce of gold, 1 ounce of a gold coin. Now the son with 5 ounces of gold or 5 pieces of gold coin, he went out and multiplied it. He said at once. And so he flipped that 5 into 25 pieces of gold, right? The second son took his 2 pieces and he multiplied it. And he took the 2 pieces and he made it 4 pieces. The third son took his 1 talent, as the Bible says, each according to their own ability. And he then buried his money. You know what that means? That he put his money in mutual funds, the job 401k, bonds, or just a regular checking savings account. He didn't even spend it. Because when you spend money, it means to end, E-N-D. He wasn't even, he was a saver. He thought he was doing what was right with his money by saving it. But when the father returned, he said, listen, I don't reward people that save money. I don't reward people that get little interest on their money or no interest. I only reward people that know the multiplication of money. So the one that just had one, the little he had was taken away. And you know why? Because when you save money, when you don't understand a 401k, I won't even get into that for time's sake, how the 401k is a scam. Between 2000 and 2004, a lot of small investors and people that had 401ks, thousands were wiped out. I'm not even going to get into that. But he said, because when you save money, it cannot keep up with inflation. So what MWR do is, number one, give you also instant cash flow opportunity right through the way that you're earning your money by adding their 470 plus tax deduction. Number two, then you can increase your cash flow by helping other people that got the same money problem that you do, which in this economic environment, I don't know that you can't tell me you don't know anybody that need more money because they can't control inflation. And we're experiencing the highest inflation it's been in 40 years. Number three, improve your credit if that relates to you. Listen, low credit scores mean you're paying highest interest rate. And everybody is using or leveraging some type of credit cards or some type of debt to either live in a house or to ride in a vehicle because the money you're making is not enough. So you have to go to the bank and borrow. So if you have a low credit score, you're paying high interest. So the higher your credit score, you can renegotiate something, get lower interest rates. Additional way to free up some money for you. And then 4, I have a debt elimination plan. It's called a debt-free millionaire date. Most people have no idea when they can be free of debt, millionaire date-wise. You plug in all your bills, you actually get a plan. The Bible says that a man without a vision, right, has to write the vision and make it plain. And he said that it also said that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So if you don't have a vision of when your debt-free millionaire date, people, you're not going to hit it, right? It's not that you set your goals too high and miss them. It's that you set them too low and you actually hit it. So if you don't have a visual in front of you, if you can't see yourself, if you don't have a plan of your debt-free millionaire day, you won't get out of debt. Because the only way to be a millionaire is to have a plan, to know the dates, and to have it strategized. So you get your debt-free millionaire date. And then they offer investing opportunities. The only way to become a millionaire in less than 5 years is your money has to work for you. You cannot work for money. You have to have assets. You have to be in positive cash flow. You have to have good credit. You have to have investments. You have to have your money working for you. If you work for money and your money is not your employees, then you will never become a millionaire. If you don't have tax shelters, I told you about the 1943 Employees Tax Act, the 1986 by Reagan Tax Act, Tax Reform Act. If you don't have a plan against taxes, the government, the feds, the U.S. Treasury will always take 30 to 40% of your money. So people, this is the easiest way I can explain it. And sometimes people still come to me and say, Queen, I still don't understand it. I don't know any way to explain it than that. Right, Monique. Assets and profits are always better than wages. I explained what assets was at the beginning. I explained what liability was. I explained how the tax laws were passed and designed to keep you poor. I explained that the government wants business owners and investors, and how for 129 you become considered tax-wise not an employee but an entrepreneur. I explained that how adding these tax deductions strategically give you more money. Because let's be honest, 98% of people have paychecks, whether you're small business, whether you're an employee, whether you're 1099. Well, Curtis, yeah, people in India getting taxed. I did a live stream on that, 30%. But so are people in the States. So are people in America. If you convert it, see, the only way the government can tax you is with their money, with cash. So if you converted assets like crypto back into cash, then you're getting taxed too. And then once they take that tax out of your paycheck, and you open up your paycheck and want to know where all your money went, between the insurances, your vision, your health, your dental, accidental, then some people even have short-term paycheck replacement insurance. And then again, 401k or pension, people, you only bring home 40 cents on the dollar. But most people don't know they can get up to 30% of that money back because you don't have to pay tax. You don't know that you don't have the knowledge not to. And there's nothing secret about it. The IRS put it on their own website that most people overpay in taxes. Instead of giving that money out their paycheck, you'll be better off, right? Bringing that money to your household. Most people file bankruptcy because they are a negative $500 deficit of cash flow every month. And a second job won't do it because a second job, you're taxed like two people. One person told me they had to quit their second job because at the end of the year, they were paying back taxes. So that strategy didn't work because they had a tax bill. And then they did not have time to even get time to invest in financial education to see how to invest, right? So the only way to become a millionaire is to take your income and make it investing money, to have tax shelters, to keep a good credit score where you're not paying high interest, to have a vision, to have a debt-free millionaire's day, and to have tools that you want to invest in. Because your money has to work harder than you work for the money. A lot of people just been going financial seminars and saying, make a budget, make a budget. Switch that direct TV bill to Comcast. Switch your cell phone from Verizon to AT&T. You get on a contract for 1 or 2 years and you save $30, $40 a month. But then when that 2-year contract is over with, they raise their cell phone bills because they just cut it just to lure you in and get you to switch to them. And people, you cannot budget broke. You can't budget broke. So what if, like Jesus told Peter, go look in the fish's mouth and pay your taxes? What if all you had to do was look right in the paycheck, the money that you were making now, and say, how can I get more out of this? It's a 129 investment. Listen, I'm signing out. You know, I'm signing out, you all, because I see some questions on here. It's going to take me into a different mindset. I'm not about to answer any question about banana mining. What I'm talking about, the title of my live stream was about how to become a millionaire. So let me log off. You all stay safe, stay healthy, right? Health is wealth. Eat healthy, exercise, get your exercise in. Elevate your mind, right? Elevate your mind, magnify your mind, think on a bigger level. Manifest with your mouth. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Multiply your money. I broke down Matthew 25:14 and told you why you should. And maximize your mission in life. According to Deuteronomy 28:11, you should have great prosperity, which means you should be blessed to be a blessing. And make sure that you are, if you appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom and the breakdown, give this video the thumbs up. You all be safe. Queen out.